Garrett Flynn found his boss alone at the bar at midnight. Evelyn March, CEO of March Industries, was drunk. Really drunk. Celebrating a deal or drowning sorrows he couldn't tell. "Mr. Flynn, what are you doing here?" "Getting you home safely, Ms. March." He'd driven her to her mansion, helped her inside, left water and aspirin. Expected nothing. The next morning, she called him to her office. He prepared for embarrassment or anger. Instead, she said 5 words that changed his life. "I remember everything you said." The vulnerability he'd shared thinking she'd forget. Now she knew his truth. "Before we begin, let me know where in the world you're watching this from." Now let's start. Garrett Flynn had worked at March Industries for 3 years. Data analyst, middle management, invisible to most executives, including CEO Evelyn March. She was a legend in the company. 35 years old, built the company from nothing after her father's death. Brilliant, ruthless, completely unapproachable. Garrett had been in exactly 2 meetings with her. Both times she'd looked through him like glass. That Friday, Garrett was leaving late from the office. His daughter Chloe was with his sister for the night. Rare evening without parenting duties. His colleague mentioned drinks at McGill's bar. "Come on, Flynn, you never go out." "I have a 6-year-old. Going out isn't an option." "She's with your sister tonight. Live a little." Garrett went reluctantly. Had 1 beer, was about to leave. Then he saw her, Evelyn March, alone at the bar. Expensive suit slightly rumpled, hair falling from its usual perfect style. 3 empty glasses in front of her. Nobody approached her. The CEO alone, and everyone kept their distance. Garrett should have left. Should have pretended he hadn't seen her. But something about her isolation felt familiar. He walked over. "Ms. March, are you all right?" She looked up, eyes unfocused. "Mr. Flynn from Data?" "Yes, ma'am." "I'm fine. Celebrating or mourning? Haven't decided which." What are you celebrating or mourning?" "Closed a $500 million deal today. My father would have been proud. Except he's dead, so he can't be proud. So I'm drinking instead." Her words were slurred but clear. Raw in a way CEOs never were. "That's a significant achievement. You should be proud even if he can't be." "Should I? I built this company to honor his memory, but he'll never see it, never acknowledge it. What's the point?" "The point is you built something meaningful. That matters." "Does it? I have money, success, power. I have nothing that actually matters." She ordered another drink. Garrett gently intercepted. "Maybe that's enough for tonight. You don't tell me what to do. I'm your boss. Right now, you're someone who's had too much to drink. Let me get you home safely." "I have a driver." "Did you dismiss him?" Evelyn looked confused, checked her phone. "I did, hours ago. Told him I'd call when ready." "Then let me drive you, please." She studied him through alcohol haze. Why, you barely know me." "Because leaving someone vulnerable alone is wrong, regardless of who they are." After some arguing, she agreed. Garrett helped her to his modest car. She looked at it with surprise. "This is your car? It's practical. Single dad budget. Gets us where we need to go." "Single dad? Your wife left?" "Died, cancer, 3 years ago." "I'm sorry." "Thank you." The drive to her estate took 30 minutes. Evelyn talked the entire time. Barriers completely down. "Do you know what it's like to achieve everything and have nobody to share it with?" "Yes, actually, I do." "Of course you do. You're alone too." "I have my daughter. She's everything." "I don't have children. Devoted everything to the company. Now I'm 35 and completely alone. Successful and miserable." "Success doesn't have to mean miserable." "Doesn't it? Look at me. I have everything except what matters." "What matters to you?" "Connection. Someone who sees me as Evelyn, not the CEO. Someone who wants to be around me because they like me, not because they want something." That's not too much to ask. Apparently it is. Every man I date wants access to my money or my network. Nobody wants me. Maybe you're looking in the wrong places. Where should I look? The mailroom? Garrett smiled. Data analysis, actually. Some of us are decent people. She laughed, genuine. "Are you flirting with me, Mr. Flynn?" "Absolutely not. I value my job." "Good, because I'm a disaster. Successful disaster, but disaster nonetheless." They arrived at her mansion. Gates, long driveway, house bigger than Garrett's entire apartment building. "This is home," she said, suddenly sounding sad. "It's impressive. It's empty. Do you know what it's like to live in a house this big with nobody in it?" "I can't imagine." Garrett helped her inside. Massive foyer, expensive art, perfect interior design. Zero warmth. Where's your bedroom?" "Upstairs, I can manage." "Let me make sure you get there safely." He helped her upstairs, keeping distance, being respectful. She collapsed onto her bed, still in her suit. Thank you, Garrett. You're welcome. Can I tell you something? Of course. I'm tired. Tired of being strong. Tired of being perfect. Tired of being alone. You don't have to be perfect. Yes, I do. I'm Evelyn March. Perfect is the minimum requirement. Garrett found water, aspirin, left them on her nightstand. Drink water before bed. Take aspirin when you wake up. You'll still have a headache, but it'll be manageable. You're kind. Why are you kind? Because kindness costs nothing. Most people aren't kind to me. They're careful, respectful, afraid, but not kind. Most people don't see you as human. They see you as the CEO. But, Murray, what do you see? I see someone who's lonely, someone who achieved everything except happiness, someone who deserves better. Evelyn's eyes filled with tears. I hired you 3 years ago. Did you know that? What? I review all mid-level hires personally. I saw your application. Single father, wife died, raising daughter alone, still pursuing career. I thought this person understands loss. I hired you because I saw myself in you. I had no idea. Nobody does. That's the point. I can't be human. I have to be perfect. Even perfect people need help sometimes. Will you remember this conversation tomorrow? Of course. Good, because I might not. But I want someone to remember that I'm not always perfect, that sometimes I'm just sad. I'll remember. She fell asleep mid-sentence. Garrett covered her with a blanket, left his number on the nightstand. In case you need anything. Drove home thinking about the woman behind the CEO, the loneliness that mirrored his own, the vulnerability she'd never show sober. He'd said things too, about missing his wife, about struggling alone, about wondering if he'd ever connect with anyone again. Things he'd never say sober either. Assumed she wouldn't remember. Hoped she wouldn't. But something in him hoped she would. Saturday morning, Garrett's phone rang at 8 a.m. Unknown number. Hello? Mr. Flynn? This is Evelyn March. I need to see you in my office Monday morning, 9 a.m. Her voice was professional, cold. The CEO, not the vulnerable woman from last night. Of course, is everything all right? We'll discuss it Monday. She hung up. Garrett spent the weekend convinced he was fired. He'd crossed a line, seen the CEO vulnerable. She was eliminating the witness. Monday morning, he arrived at her office at 8:55. Her assistant looked at him with pity. She's expecting you. Go right in. Garrett knocked. Enter. Evelyn sat behind her massive desk. Perfect hair, perfect suit, perfect makeup. No trace of Friday's vulnerability. Mr. Flynn, sit. He sat, prepared for termination. I owe you an apology. Ma'am? For Friday, I was unprofessional, inappropriate. You shouldn't have had to deal with that. You don't need to apologize. You were having a hard night. That's no excuse. However, I want you to know I remember our conversation, all of it. Garrett's stomach dropped. I see. You told me about your wife, about raising Chloe alone, about feeling like you're failing at everything despite trying so hard. I shouldn't have said, I'm glad you did. Because Garrett, I meant what I said too. About being lonely, about success feeling empty, about wanting someone to see me as human. Ms. March, Evelyn, when we're alone, call me Evelyn. That's not appropriate. Neither was Friday night, but it happened, so here we are. She stood, walked to the window. I've spent 3 years watching you, Garrett. Not in a creepy way, she added quickly, but I notice things. You leave exactly at 5:30 every day to pick up Chloe. You never attend after-hours events. You decline promotions that would require travel. You've built your entire career around being present for your daughter. She's my priority. I respect that. Most people would sacrifice parenting for advancement. You sacrifice advancement for parenting. It's not a sacrifice, it's a choice. A rare one. Garrett, I want to offer you something. If this is about Friday, it is and it isn't. I'm creating a new position, VP of Data Strategy. It's a significant promotion. Better pay, better benefits, more responsibility. But here's the catch. It requires absolute discretion, direct reporting to me, and occasional odd hours. I have a daughter. Odd hours are difficult. I know, which is why I'm offering flexible scheduling. Work from home when needed. Bring Chloe to the office if childcare falls through. I'm building this position around your needs. Why? Because you're brilliant at what you do. Your analyses have saved this company millions. You deserve recognition. And because, she hesitated, because I want to work with someone who understands what it means to balance ambition with humanity. This feels like it's about more than work. Maybe it is. Friday night, you saw me at my worst. You didn't take advantage, didn't gossip, didn't treat me differently. You were kind. That's rare in my world. I'm not interested in being rewarded for basic decency. I'm not rewarding decency. I'm recognizing talent and creating an opportunity. The promotion is real. You've earned it based on merit. But yes, I'm also hoping we can be friends. Is that possible? Friends with your employee? Friends with someone who understands loneliness. Someone who doesn't want anything from me except maybe conversation occasionally. Garrett studied her. This wasn't a romantic overture. It was something lonelier, a genuine request for human connection. Okay, I'll take the position. And yes, we can be friends. But Evelyn, boundaries matter. I can't blur professional and personal. I understand. Professional at work, personal, occasionally if you're willing. I'm willing. Over the next month, they developed an unexpected friendship. Evelyn would call him into her office for strategy meetings. Half would be actual work. Half would be conversation. Hey, how's Chloe? Good, started first grade. Hates math. Already, she's 6. First grade math. Addition is apparently torture. I was the same way. Tell her it gets easier. I will do. They'd talk about everything except the obvious attraction simmering between them. Garrett felt it. Knew Evelyn did too, but neither acknowledged it. She was his boss. He was her employee. That line couldn't be crossed. One evening, Evelyn called at 7 p.m. I'm sorry to bother you at home. You're not bothering me. What's wrong? Bad day, really bad day. Board meeting went poorly. I just needed to hear a friendly voice. Want to talk about it? Not really. Want to hear about Chloe's day instead. Tell me something normal. So Garrett told her about Chloe's school play, about the disaster of making a tree costume from cardboard, about his daughter's insistence that trees should sparkle. Evelyn laughed. Thank you, I needed that. Anytime. Garrett, do you ever feel like you're failing at everything? Every single day. That's for some. How do you cope? I remember that Chloe thinks I'm a hero. Even when I'm failing, I'm succeeding at being her dad. That's enough. I wish I had something like that. Someone who thinks I'm a hero regardless. You could, if you let people in. That's the problem. I don't know how. Start small. Coffee with a friend. No work talk, just life talk. Are you volunteering? If you want me to. Silence. Then, Saturday, 10 a.m., there's a coffee shop near the park where Chloe plays. That sounds perfect. Saturday coffee became their routine. Evelyn would meet Garrett and Chloe at the park. Garrett would get coffee while Chloe played. Evelyn would sit with them, slowly becoming part of their weekend. Your boss comes to the park with us, Chloe asked one day. She's my friend. Can she push me on the swing? Ask her. Chloe ran to Evelyn. Can you push me? Evelyn looked terrified. I don't know how to push a swing. It's easy, I'll show you. Garrett watched Evelyn learn to push a 6-year-old on a swing. Awkward at first, then natural. Chloe's laughter making Evelyn smile genuinely. She's good with her, another parent commented. She's learning. Your wife? No, just a friend. Could be more than a friend. The way she looks at you. Garrett didn't respond. Couldn't. Because he'd noticed it too. The way Evelyn watched him with Chloe. The way she lit up when they arrived. The way she'd started bringing Chloe small gifts. Books, art supplies, nothing excessive. The way she'd become part of their lives without either of them planning it. 3 months into their friendship, Garrett's sister confronted him. Are you dating your boss? No, we're friends. Friends don't look at each other like that. Like what? Like you're both terrified and hopeful? Garrett, what's going on? I don't know, we're friends. That's all we can be. Why? Because she's my boss. Because I'm a single dad. Because she's a CEO worth millions. Because it's complicated. Life is complicated. That's not a reason to avoid happiness. I'm not avoiding happiness. You're avoiding risk. There's a difference. Garrett thought about that conversation all week. Was he avoiding risk? Or being realistic? Friday evening, Evelyn called. Can we talk? In person? Of course. When? Now. I'm outside your building. Garrett went downstairs. Found Evelyn in her car, looking nervous. What's wrong? I need to tell you something, and I'm terrified. Okay. That night I was drunk. I told you I wanted someone to see me as human. You've done that. You and Chloe have made me feel more human in 3 months than I have in years. And Garrett, I'm falling for you. I know it's inappropriate. I know it's complicated. but I can't pretend anymore. Garrett's heart raced. Evelyn, you don't have to say anything. I just needed you to know. I'll transfer you to a different department so there's no conflict. I'll maintain professional distance. But I couldn't keep lying about what I feel. I'm falling for you too. She stared at him. What? I've been fighting it for months, telling myself it's impossible. But Evelyn, when you're with us, you're not the CEO. You're just you. And I love that person. So what do we do? I don't know, but we figure it out. Together. If you've ever developed feelings for someone you thought was impossible, share your story below. Sometimes the most complicated relationships become the most meaningful. Deciding to pursue a relationship and actually navigating it were completely different. Evelyn transferred Garrett to a different reporting structure immediately. You'll report to the CFO now, completely separate from my chain of command. Will people believe that's legitimate? It is legitimate. You've earned this level. I'm just making sure there's no conflict. People will still talk. Let them. I'm tired of living for other people's opinions. But going public wasn't simple. They decided to keep things private initially. Date quietly. Let the relationship develop. We need to be sure before we face the scrutiny, Evelyn said. Agreed. Their first official date was at a restaurant an hour outside the city. Far enough that nobody from work would see them. This feels like we're having an affair, Garrett observed. We're not. We're just being careful. Feels the same. Would you rather go public immediately? Face the gossip and speculation? No, but I don't love sneaking around either. Neither do I, but for now it's necessary. The date was wonderful. They talked for hours about everything. Evelyn's childhood as the daughter of a demanding businessman. Garrett's college years, meeting his wife, losing her, dreams abandoned, dreams still possible. What do you want, Evelyn? Not for the company, for yourself. Honestly, I want what you have. A family, a child who thinks I'm a hero, someone to come home to. All the normal things I sacrificed for success. Those things are still possible. At 35, with my life, I don't know. I'm 34, single dad. Dating seems impossible, but here we are. Here we are. They kissed in the parking lot. Soft, tentative, full of possibility. I'm scared, Evelyn admitted. Of what? Of messing this up. Of letting you down. Of being terrible at relationships like I've been terrible at everything except business. You're not terrible. You're just inexperienced. There's a difference. Teach me? Teach you what? How to be good at this. At relationships. At being part of a family. I want to be good for you and Chloe. You already are. But integrating Evelyn into their lives proved challenging. She tried too hard. Bought Chloe expensive gifts. Planned elaborate outings. Tried to schedule quality time, like business meetings. Evelyn, you need to relax, Garrett said after she'd planned a weekend itinerary down to the minute. I want to make sure Chloe has fun. She'll have fun if you're present. You don't need to plan everything. I don't know how to just be. I've always planned, strategized, optimized. Life with a 6-year-old is chaos. You can't optimize chaos, you just ride it. The breakthrough came unexpectedly. Garrett got called into an emergency meeting on Saturday. I'm so sorry, I'll reschedule. I'll watch Chloe, Evelyn offered. Are you sure? You've never watched her alone. I want to, we'll be fine. Garrett left them together, nervous. Called an hour later to check in. No answer. Called again. Nothing. Panicked, he rushed home. Found Evelyn and Chloe in the kitchen. Flour everywhere, batter on the walls. Chloe's hair full of chocolate chips. They were making cookies, laughing hysterically. What happened? We tried to follow a recipe, Evelyn explained. Turns out 6-year-olds are not precision bakers. But we made cookies, Chloe held up a misshapen blob. Try it, Daddy. Garrett bit into possibly the worst cookie he'd ever tasted. It's perfect. You're lying, Evelyn said. Absolutely, but look at you two. This is perfect. Evelyn looked at the disaster around her. Hair messy, suit replaced with jeans, and one of Garrett's old sweatshirts, flour on her face. I failed at cookie baking. You succeeded at being present. That's better. That evening, after Chloe went to bed, Evelyn cried. What? What's wrong? Nothing's wrong. Everything's right. I've never felt this light. Like I don't have to be perfect. Like it's okay to fail at cookies. It's always okay to fail at cookies. You know what I mean. For the first time in my life, I wasn't trying to achieve anything. I was just being with Chloe, and it was wonderful. That's what family feels like. I want this all the time. The chaos, the imperfection, the presence. I want this to be my life. It can be if you want it. I want it. I want you and Chloe. I want this family. 6 months into their relationship, they couldn't hide anymore. Someone from work saw them at a restaurant. By Monday, rumors were everywhere. Is it true you're dating the CEO? I'm dating Evelyn, yes. Isn't that a conflict of interest? I don't report to her. There's no conflict. But HR called him in. We need to discuss your relationship with Ms. March. It's personal, not professional. She's the CEO. Everything about her is professional. I've been transferred out of her reporting structure. I'm following protocol. And when you break up, think about the complications. If we break up, I'll handle it professionally. But I'm not ending a relationship because it might be complicated later. The HR director sighed. Look, off the record, good for you. She's been different lately. Happier, more human. People like working for her more. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. I'm just being her partner. That's enough. Evelyn faced worse scrutiny. Board members questioned her judgment. Dating an employee, that's reckless. He's not my employee. He reports to the CFO. Still looks bad, like you're showing favoritism. I'm not. His promotion was merit-based, approved before we started dating. Check the records. People will talk. Let them. My personal life doesn't affect my performance. Doesn't it? You've been less available, more distracted. I've also been more effective. Check the numbers. Revenue up, employee satisfaction up, efficiency up. I'm performing better, not worse. They couldn't argue with results. But the whispers continued. She's going soft. He's using her. It won't last. Garrett and Evelyn developed a strategy. Be professional at work. Keep personal life private but not secret. Prove through actions that the relationship didn't compromise either of them. We have to be beyond reproach, Evelyn said. We are beyond reproach. Then we act like it. They did. Maintained boundaries at work. Avoided any appearance of favoritism. Garrett declined projects that might involve Evelyn directly. Evelyn recused herself from decisions affecting Garrett's department. Slowly, the gossip faded, replaced by respect. They're handling it professionally, colleagues observed. She's still tough as ever. He must be good for her. 1 year into their relationship, Evelyn met Garrett's family. His parents, his sister, her kids. Sunday dinner at his childhood home. Evelyn was terrified. What if they hate me? They won't hate you. And what if they think I'm using you? My family knows me better than that. His mother took one look at Evelyn and hugged her. You're the one who made my son smile again. Thank you. I didn't do anything. You gave him hope. That's everything. Dinner was chaotic. Kids running around, multiple conversations, family dysfunction on full display. Evelyn loved it. This is what family dinners are like? This is what my family dinners are like. Too loud, too messy, but full of love. I've never experienced anything like this. What were your family dinners like? Silent. My father at the head of the table, reviewing business reports. My mother making polite conversation. Me trying to be perfect. No laughter, no chaos, no warmth. That sounds lonely. It was. This is better. Garrett's mother pulled him aside. I like her. She's good for you. I think so too. She's in love with you. You see that, right? I hope so. No hope about it. The way she looks at you and Chloe. That's love. Don't let her go. I'm not planning to. 2 years in, they faced their first major crisis. Evelyn's board wanted her to relocate to New York, expand the company, manage it from headquarters. It's a significant opportunity, the chairman said. I'm not interested in relocating. Why not? New York is the center of our industry. My life is here. Your boyfriend? Evelyn, you're letting personal feelings affect business decisions. I'm prioritizing what matters. The company can be managed from here. I've proven that. The board wants you in New York. Then the board can find a new CEO. Silence. You'd resign over this? I'd resign over many things. But yes, I'm not moving to New York. She told Garrett that evening. They wanted me to relocate. I refused. Evelyn, if this is about us, it's about me. I spent 30 years sacrificing personal happiness for professional success. I'm done with that. I have a life here, a family, you and Chloe. I'm not giving that up. What do we reach here? What if they force you out? Then I'll find something else. I have options. I don't have another you and Chloe. That's a huge decision. It's the easiest decision I've ever made. The board backed down. Evelyn stayed. But the incident made her realize something. I don't want to be CEO anymore. What? I've done it for 10 years. Built the company, proved myself, achieved everything. But Garrett, I'm exhausted. I want to live. not just achieve. So what do you want to do? I want to transition to chairman. Let someone else run day-to-day operations. Focus on strategy, big picture. Have time for life. Are you sure? Completely sure. I want to be at Chloe's school events. Want to have dinner with you every night. Want to be present for the life we're building. Then do it. She did. Transitioned over 6 months to chairman role. The company thrived under new leadership. Evelyn thrived with work-life balance. This is what happiness feels like, she told Garrett one evening. Good. No, you don't understand. For the first time in my life, I'm happy, truly happy, because I have you and Chloe in a life that matters more than achievements. I'm happy too. Good, because Garrett, I want to marry you. Is that insane? Probably, but I want to marry you too. If you believe that sometimes the impossible becomes possible, subscribe to Solo Parent Stories for more tales of unlikely love. Evelyn proposed 3 months later. Not a grand gesture, just the two of them after putting Chloe to bed. I bought a ring. Want to see it? You bought yourself an engagement ring? I bought you an engagement ring. I'm proposing. Is that okay? Garrett laughed. Yes, that's okay. Good, because Garrett Flynn, I love you. I love your daughter. I love the life we've built. I want to make it official. Will you marry me? That's my line. Gender roles are outdated. Will you marry me or not? Yes, absolutely yes. They kissed, and Evelyn slid the ring on his finger. Simple band, perfect fit. How did you know my ring size? I'm Evelyn March. I know everything. You measured while I was sleeping, didn't you? Maybe. They decided to tell Chloe together. Chloe, Evelyn, and I want to talk to you about something. Are you getting married? They stared at her. Hannah. How did you know? You're always holding hands. And Evelyn looks at Daddy like the princess looks at the prince in my movies. Plus, I heard you talking about rings. Were you spying? No, you were talking loud. Evelyn crouched to Chloe's level. Is it okay with you that your dad and I get married? Will you be my mom? I'll be your stepmom. Your mom will always be your mom, even though she's not here. But yes, I'll be your stepmom. Good, I want a mom. All my friends have moms. Then yes, I'll be your mom, if you want me. Chloe hugged Evelyn. I want you. You're nice and you're bad at baking, and you let me paint your nails. That's the criteria? That's important criteria. Planning a wedding proved complicated. Evelyn wanted something small. Her family expected something elaborate. You're Evelyn March. You can't have a small wedding. Watch me. We're having exactly what we want. Small ceremony, close friends and family. What about business associates? Board members? They can read about it in the paper. Garrett's family was fully supportive. We love her. She's perfect for you. Evelyn's family was less enthused. Her mother called a week before the wedding. Are you sure about this? He's so ordinary. Ordinary is what I need. I've had extraordinary my whole life. Ordinary is wonderful. He has a child. You'll be a stepmother. I know, I'm excited about it. You've never wanted children. I've never had the right partner. Garrett changes everything. You're making a mistake. Then it's my mistake to make. Her mother didn't come to the wedding. Neither did half her family. I'm sorry, Garrett said the morning of the wedding. Don't be. The people who matter are here. That's enough. They married in a botanical garden. 50 guests, simple ceremony, Chloe as flower girl. Do you, Garrett Flynn, take Evelyn March to be your wife? I do, completely. Do you, Evelyn March, take Garrett Flynn to be your husband? I do, forever. They kissed and Chloe cheered loudly. Now we're a real family. At the reception, Evelyn gave a speech. 3 years ago, I was successful and miserable. Had everything except what mattered. Then one night, I got drunk and a kind man drove me home. That man saw me at my worst and didn't run away. He saw me as human. That changed everything. She looked at Garrett. You taught me that success without connection is worthless. That achievement without love is empty. That being perfect is less important than being real. You and Chloe gave me a family. Thank you for that. Thank you for seeing me. Not a dry eye in the room. After the wedding, they honeymooned as a family. Disney World because Chloe had begged. This isn't very romantic, Evelyn observed, watching Chloe run toward a character meet and greet. It's perfect. This is our life now. Family adventures, not romantic getaways. I love our life. Hey, me too. But married life revealed new challenges. Evelyn struggled with domestic responsibilities. I don't know how to cook. I've had chefs my whole life. You don't need to learn to cook. Yes, I do. I want to be able to feed my family. She took cooking classes, burned everything, eventually learned to make 3 dishes adequately. This is edible, Chloe declared after Evelyn's fourth attempt at spaghetti. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said about my cooking. They divided household responsibilities based on skills. Garrett cooked and handled finances. Evelyn managed schedules and handled major decisions. Together they did laundry, cleaning, parenting. We're a team, Garrett said. Best team I've ever been part of. Chloe adapted beautifully to having Evelyn as a stepmom. Mom, can you help with my homework? The first time Chloe called her mom, Evelyn cried. You don't have to call me mom if it feels wrong. It feels right. You're my mom now. What about your birth mother? She's in heaven. You're here. You can both be my mom. Evelyn learned to do school pickup, attend parent-teacher conferences, host playdates. All the mom things she'd never imagined doing. I'm terrible at this, she told Garrett after a playdate went chaotic. You're learning. That's what matters. Other moms make it look easy. Other moms have been doing it longer. You've been a mom for 6 months. Give yourself grace. Year 2 of marriage, Evelyn surprised Garrett. I want to have a baby. What? A baby. Ours. I want to give Chloe a sibling. Want to experience pregnancy, birth, the whole thing. Are you sure? You're 37. That's not too old, but I'm sure I want this with you. Then let's have a baby. They did. Daughter Lily, born when Chloe was 9. Evelyn fell completely in love. I never understood what I was missing. Now I know. What were you missing? Everything that matters. This tiny human, this family, this messy, wonderful life. Chloe adored her baby sister. I'm going to teach her everything. That's what I'm afraid of, Garrett joked. Watching Evelyn with both girls, Garrett marveled at the transformation. From lonely CEO to present mother. From woman who had everything to woman who had what mattered. Any regrets? He asked one evening after both girls were asleep. About what? Stepping down as CEO, having less time for business, choosing family over ambition. Zero regrets, best decision of my life. Garrett, I achieved everything professionally, built a billion-dollar company. But you know what my greatest achievement is? What? This family, these girls, this life. That's worth more than any company. I love you. I love you too. Thank you for driving me home that night. Thank you for seeing me. Always. 5 years after driving his drunk boss home, Garrett stood in their backyard watching his family. Chloe, now 11, playing soccer with Lily. Evelyn gardening, something she'd taken up recently. Their life unrecognizable from that night at the bar. Dad, watch this. Chloe kicked the ball. Lily tried to catch it. Nice shot. Evelyn walked over, dirt on her jeans. Gardening is harder than running a company. Different skills. Very different. At work, I could delegate. Can't delegate weeding. You could hire a gardener. But then I'd miss the satisfaction of growing things myself. Look at you, Evelyn March, finding satisfaction in gardening. Evelyn Flynn now. And yes, turns out I like growing things. Tomatoes don't care that I used to be a CEO. They sat on the porch watching the girls play. Do you miss it? Garrett asked. And the company? The power? Sometimes I miss the challenges, the strategy, but I don't miss the loneliness, the constant pressure, the emptiness. You've built something better. We've built something better. This family, this life, it's what I was missing all along. Chloe ran over. Mom, can Lily and I have a sleepover in the backyard? If Dad says it's okay. Fine with me. I'll get the tent. After setting up the tent, the girls settled in. Garrett and Evelyn stayed on the porch. Remember the night we met, Evelyn said, when you were drunk and told me you were lonely? I was so mortified the next day. Thought you'd lose all respect for me. I gained respect for you. Takes courage to be vulnerable. I didn't feel courageous. I felt drunk. Same thing sometimes. They laughed. What made you drive me home that night? Evelyn asked. Honestly, I saw myself in you. The loneliness, the isolation. I understood it. Couldn't leave you alone. I'm glad you didn't. That night changed everything. Your words the next day changed everything. When you said you remembered our conversation, how could I forget? You told me about Chloe, about losing your wife, about feeling like you were failing. I saw myself in you too. We saved each other. We did. Lily ran out from the tent. Mommy, I can't sleep. Chloe's telling scary stories. Come here, baby. Lily climbed into Evelyn's lap. I'll tell you a happy story instead. Want to hear how I met your daddy? Yes. I was very sad and lonely. I had everything but nothing that mattered. Then your daddy helped me. He was kind when he didn't have to be. He showed me what really matters. And that's how we became a family. That's a good story. It's the best story. Now go back to the tent. Chloe's stories aren't that scary. After Lily ran back, Garrett said, "You're good at this. Being a mom, I'm adequate at this. You're excellent at this. Lily adores you. Chloe adores you. You're exactly what they need. What about you? Am I what you need? You're everything I need." They kissed, comfortable in their love. 5 years, 2 kids, countless memories, built from one drunk night and one act of kindness. The girls eventually fell asleep in the tent. Garrett and Evelyn stayed on the porch. "What do you want to do tomorrow?" Evelyn asked. "Nothing, family day. No plans, no schedule. Just be together." "I love family days." "You love not having to achieve anything." "That too." "Garrett, can I tell you something?" "Always. I'm happier now than I ever was as CEO. Happier than I thought possible. You gave me that. You gave yourself that. By choosing differently. By prioritizing what mattered. I couldn't have done it without you. We did it together." Later, carrying the girls to their beds, Evelyn whispered to Garrett, "This is what I wanted that night at the bar. This exact thing. Family, love, connection. I just didn't know it yet. Now you know. Now I know." In the morning, Chloe asked a question. "Mom, what was your job before you were a mom?" "I ran a big company. I was the boss." "Were you good at it?" "I was excellent at it." "Why did you stop?" "Because being your mom is more important. I can always run a company, but I only get one chance to be your mom and Lily's mom. I chose you." "That's nice. Can we have pancakes?" "Yes, but Dad has to make them. My pancakes are terrible." "They're not terrible," Garrett called from the kitchen. "They're just creative." "They're terrible," Evelyn confirmed. "But I make excellent toast." "You burn toast," Chloe said. "Okay, I make adequate toast." Garrett watched his wife and daughter banter. Thought about that night 5 years ago, driving home a drunk CEO, never imagining it would lead to this. Marriage, family, love, all because he'd been kind when he didn't have to be. All because she'd been vulnerable when she could have stayed guarded. All because they'd both chosen connection over safety. "What are you thinking about?" Evelyn asked. "How one night changed everything. Best night of my life. Even though you were drunk, especially because I was drunk. Sober me never would have admitted how lonely I was. Drunk me told the truth. Led me to you. Then here's to drunk Evelyn. And to kind Garrett who drove her home. They toasted with coffee mugs. To the night that started everything. To the life they'd built from vulnerability and kindness. To family found in unexpected places. To love that grew from one simple act of decency. Because sometimes driving someone home changes both your lives. Sometimes the next day's words change everything. Sometimes admitting you're lonely is the first step to never being lonely again. If you believe that one act of kindness can change everything, subscribe to Solo Parent Stories for more tales of love built from simple moments of humanity.